part 2 of the Punters show. Glenn's tapping in for the moment.
Oh, you tap back in.
I'm back in.
There's actually there's a UFC brand called Tap Out. T-shirts. I might have to get you sponsored by Tap Out.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, you give me some Tap Out tees.
Anyone get behind Glenn and buy him some Tap Out shirts.
Yeah, or even Tap Out people, I can wear it for you.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That look good.
I got to get these Adidas the whole winter. The good thing about this is you can go to bed in it and then you just wake up in your dress.
You just go. Yeah, it's a bit of a give up, Glenn.
Life actually does get easier as it goes along, doesn't it? You think you have to do all these things at the beginning, and then you go, oh no, I don't.
You do stick rock solid. Remember when the tent was big?
Oh, the tent had a good
I had to bar the tent because it was that large. He used to wear a tent.
It's alright.
Reminder, free product week, give it a trial. If you've been consistently buying something, try something else for free, or just get your own product for free. Pass it around, tell your friends, get them all involved in the Punter Show. Most things have been going good, everything's in really good profit, and ups and downs are always around and about, but overall, I think everything is humming, Matthew.
Sure is. Now let's have a quick little chat about your appearance on the radio.
Oh yeah, we've been doing that for the last bit, and even your man Aaron debuted too, because I had to duck off early on Saturday. But
Aaron debuted.
Yeah.
Aaron's got the thickest skin of all. I've thrown hand grenades at him on Friday show. And he's just like,
cops it. Yeah.
Oh, he's just like,
he's got bravado.
He's tough.
You wear him down soon though.
Yeah, we haven't yet.
Nah, good on him.
No, but anyway, so Aaron stepped in and tipped. I think found the last couple of winners actually. So it was it was a tough day for me up until that point. With
yeah, you were losing it, I think, mentally at one point.
Oh no, I never lose it mentally, but that whole Mahiri thing that didn't really work well for me.
Well, the Mahiri thing was fascinating.
Oh, coming off foreign prince.
He went foreign prince into Mahiri.
Well, I think Mahiri did it for everyone, because there's Horry going, well, it's forced to back Mahiri. And I've gone back, taken the $8.50 or $9 for him, and then the fair just went, nah, and the ring went, nah.
But then they came back for it though. There was just waves. So it was yes, but then no, it's team. Get you out of there.
Yeah.
Everyone who said yes,
it was like a Sheila on prom night.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
No.
It was a fascinating
Maybe.
betting.
Give me a drink.
Fascinating betting day.
Right, have we finished?
All right, but anyway, if you're sitting at home, Matt, on a Saturday afternoon, as have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing it. It's been really good. So I get my phone's going off. I'm getting the mousing on mail. I'm listening to Dallas and Vince on the radio.
And Ralphie does a sensational job doing it.
Ralphie does a great job. It's just,
well, the thing about
it's just the sort of anchoring you want, isn't it?
yeah,
there's a bit of hope there.
The good thing about that is if you get a chance to do it, I think it's just it's rsn.net, isn't it?
Yeah, you just go to rsn.net.au and it's called RSN Carnival.
Yep.
It's a separate channel that they
It's the digital channel.
just focus on the Melbourne
so
City
it's not a radio channel?
Yeah, no, it's a digital channel. It's digital radio.
Yeah.
What does that
People
mean?
have digital radio.
Yeah, so
Well,
now
what is that?
because there's now 3 times as many radio stations in Sydney.
So you buy a transistor to get it on the transistor?
I suppose a digital radio is still a transistor, is it?
Is it like a little transistor?
You can buy it. Yes, I've got a digital radio.
Around with skateboard.
That probably wasn't digital ready.
Yeah, everyone had big boom boxes. So I bought one. I had 2K1.
Yeah.
That was when FM had just started to get going, remember?
Yeah.
You would have been the only Wally with your boombox on AM.
I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, you can get a boombox. Yes, you can get a boombox as long as it's digital
I like
ready.
transistors.
But then again, it'd be hard to listen to that in Sydney if you're in Sydney. But yeah, on the internet, that's you listen to it.
Isn't the idea? Oh, digital radio. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's still
Location specific.
Still location specific. Yeah. But it gives you the right insight to it. The fluff is removed. It's just if a horse is off in the betting, they'll talk about it. If a horse has been ridden poorly, they'll talk about it.
Yep.
They don't pull any punches and tell it as it is.
It's Ralphie Horowitz.
It sounds like Punter Show radio, doesn't it?
It is. It is. It's a continuation. If you like what we're doing, and you're looking for something throughout the afternoon, you can have our chat room on as well too.
Yeah.
Listen to that in the background, and obviously a lot of the stuff that Vince has done too. You get that throughout the afternoon.
The best thing is you're getting the real numbers at the end of the race from Vince, how fast they've gone. Like, the eyes deceive, and the last race in Melbourne last week, everyone was saying was run really fastly, which is why the United States won.
Yeah.
But, Vince went straight on there and said they went slow.
Yep.
Just all these rumours that you do your form with the misinformation that's out
No,
there.
yeah, because that seed can be
Yeah.
planted, can't it? So you get rid of that planted seed from the
Just
start.
real numbers, real stuff.
Yep, perfect. All right, well, just rsn.net.au, click on that on a Saturday afternoon, and listen to Ralphie and Vince take you through the afternoon. It's very good, both full coverage for both Sydney and Melbourne throughout. It's great. Into our emails, boys. TQ/Nicole.
G'day, Tony. At least Tony emails us still.
What-
Is she our only watcher?
Yeah.
She's our only email at the
We
moment.
started with 6 and we've now down to 1.
Yeah, she's well.
she was
Info@puntershow.com.au if you want to send us an email. Or
Please do.
Matt and Dallas.
Yep.
Matt at Punter Show.
Yeah, don't send it to me.
You get a bounce back.
Get a bounce back. You get a tap back.
Don't even send him a text. He doesn't even read his text.
I can't, well, because my phone's broke.
It's a big
Been
blob of it.
broken for a very
About
long
5
time.
years.
Yeah, the latest iPhone. Last Thursday in race 3 at Cessnock, a horse called One Cat Wonder was being laid heavily, 8,000 on offer at about 5 to 1 on Betfair.
Wow.
As they jumped in the 900 metres race. It jumped well, eased, and then hit the lead at the top of the straight, at which time somebody gave odds of 3 to 1 with 14,000 on offer on Betfair. It was snapped up very quickly, but in bits and pieces, not one big bet. The horse went on to win well. I'd laid it because I didn't like how fidgety it was in the yard, and it was also being led around by the clerk instead of the strapper. I'm not dirty that I lost, just very confused as to why somebody apparently wanted to lose 40,000 like that, Glenn.
She says, I know Glenn was there, and I was. What was going on? I saw all that money on that against that horse. That horse, I disagree with you, TQ. I thought it paraded pretty well. What was happening on the fair, there's a lot of little intricate things happening on the fair at the moment, which the fair landscape's changed a bit. Like Wudang Mountain 9 to 1, Exosphere 8.6. I think I think you got to get rid of your dead nighters and your Betfair riders. If you like them, back them.
Yeah, yeah. Just to explain to people, Glenn, that sort of type of money, you don't see that.
No.
Not often.
Yeah.
Not often ever at Cessnock on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Being a Thursday,
Yeah.
it might be a bit different.
Yeah,
for
it's
volume,
not-
but I
that's
agree. It did look unfancied on the fair and did go on to do the good job. Watching them parade from the race, there was only it and the favourite who ran second. I think they were racing together, and there was a couple of other horses that run you wouldn't have been involved in. It did look a 2-horse race, so I wasn't surprised it won. What am I saying to you, TQ? I'm supposed to be saying nothing to you.
You're cut down.
What about
But I see she's got another instance of, we won't read all that because she writes it the wrong way. The Terry Trichels mount in the first Lismore looked...
It was 7 to 4 to 9 to 2.
7 to 4 on Bedford, and it looked to be...
Didn't look great.
It didn't look great to Teen Queen's eyes. I didn't see it. She writes here nasty stuff. I think a lot of it, in general, most horses blow because markets go up.
Yeah, they go up.
They go up too
short.
short, so they've got to go out. Now, if something is 7 to 4 to 9 to 2, well, let's say its right price was always going to be 7 to 2 or something. Like I'm just saying, not just this horse, but all horses. The more I think about Betfair, the more they blow, the more you're going to have on them. Does that make sense?
it does, like all these Waller blowers? If you were getting on right at the death, I'm sure you'd be finishing ahead.
They're almost. I mean,
I'd agree with that comment.
their price compared to SP is so
Teen
far
Queen,
greater,
because I
isn't it?
think Teen 2 was also, and I've never met Teen, but I know she's an enthusiast, but I'm sure she's what's her sort of character? The reason
I've never met somebody, but I'm about to tell
Yeah,
you.
I'm about to tell you what they are.
I'm sure she's a very cautious punter.
Yep.
So she's looking for a reason to why the horse got beat. That must be because the money was against her. And I understand. She looks like she's got a little bit of dead nighters. And Betfair itis is really.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
saying,
it's too bad infliction.
I'm saying to you, team, when that Betfair itis kicks in, tap out. Don't worry about it too much.
From a few people mentioning Paddy Power buying Betfair. Obviously, it's a little bit of a different world over here because Betfair's owned
Yeah,
differently.
so it's
I
not
would've-
Betfair Australia, it's just Betfair.
Betfair over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it
What
always
does that
be
mean?
one.
What does it mean?
Will we just have one religion eventually? Like,
So what does it mean?
Is there more than
Is Packy getting out of Betfair?
no,
No.
Paddy Power UK and Betfair UK? Bingo. Together.
Still run separately at the moment, but owned by the same joint. So yeah, I
It's
mean,
Paddy
Called
Power.
horizontal integration.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously that could easily have some drop down because I see Australia was mentioned in their
eventually.
in their thing. So whether
That
that means
30 years ago, and there's a little bloke in Ireland sitting in the pub drinking on a schooner. His name's Paddy Power. Is he the bloke that thought of all this?
yep, it's him. And he
I think I'll open up.
He's got a little satchel on the corner and got old mate taking a few SP.
he's got an old mate, a distant mate who sells celery every day of his life too.
I've seen the shop on him. It's not that bad a job, Dallas. The product doesn't change much.
Celery.
Anyway, so
I got a little email that did come in from Hats. When Aaron and I were talking with James Cummings last week, and he mentioned about the disgruntled punter that attacked him. Sorry,
Yes.
I keep using the word attacked.
Attacked.
Approached him at 4 a.m. in a Jack's Cafe. And
we don't mention that punter's name on the show anymore.
No.
Glenn.
he's barred. I gave him license. He won 100 million. And ran
Anyway,
away.
James was talking about the change of tactics rule and saying he doesn't
What,
like
at
it.
4 a.m. He's just going, oh yeah.
Well, one of the punters said, "There's this race way too good, and you took the Sid and Serene Majesty was
Yeah.
$3 into $2 that morning,
Yeah,
whatever."
yeah.
And he sort of, James was like, "What do they do in Hong Kong?" And Hats replied, because the Hong Kong market is sort of seen as the forefront.
Yeah.
And I wasn't quite sure. Hats has basically replied saying, there is no tactics rule over there. But stewards will go hard at you if you've done something, if you've won well leading and there's no pace, but for some reason you go back,
Yeah.
stewards will go hard at you.
Yeah. So it's retrospective rather than
Yeah,
prospective.
it's only what we've been saying for the whole time is that if the stewards did that job and did that rather than maybe the other thing, it just comes back to Lego.
Where there looks like there's some action where something needs to be policed, they police it over there.
Yeah.
Here we have this all very.
And I was totally with
you ripples in the pond thing that you mentioned once, just keep them. No.
Stables should be allowed to try and pull the wool over one of their rivals'
Play a
eyes
card.
to win the race,
Yeah.
not to lose it.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
James was saying if he thinks there's a race that's got no pace in it and he wants his horse to go forward, he says announcing that to the stewards just makes it.
Takes your
Like-
sleight of hand, yeah. And if it's suddenly a horse
You
that's been
guys-
last
you
all
guys
its life
who are
doing it, well,
professionals can assess that opportunity.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
if
right.
You do the form, there's no pace. You think there's a horse that maybe's got some hidden form.
Might take up the initiative.
Yeah, that's all part of your assessment and pricing, isn't it?
I would have
Yes,
thought.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah, because we,
Thinking like an
since
owner
we've
is
had-
important
So
when
telegraphing your
doing speed
attention,
maps.
telegraphing your punch is
Since
not
we've
good.
had this like lane racing, and we've had the jockeys on the show saying, "Oh, everyone's so polite,"
Yeah.
it doesn't enhance the product.
No, exactly. And then they just sit there and they're happy to sit there. There's no. It's just like.
This Hats continues on. Just for your info, there was one case I can recall of a trainer being refused permission to change tactics. This is the 1997 Metropolitan Ebony Grove.
Rogie.
Track looked on pace, biased, so Graham Rogerson told Murray they wanted Ebony to be ridden handy. And Murray said, "We had you in here last season over your horse getting too far back in a race." And
That was with Raymond Shane on it.
oh really?
I think so.
And you insisted that was the only way he could be ridden and be effective. So he expects you to ride him that way every time. And if he hasn't ridden that way today, we will have to take action. So
Okay.
refuse change.
You
of
refused
tactics.
it.
Yeah.
Scarf?
1997.
Any mention of Ray refusing the scarf tactics there back? Remember those ones?
Big hashtag, thanks, Ray.
Yeah.
Is that
See, I know what hashtag means then. These guys didn't pick up on that.
that was good.
One from that.
Oh, well, that'll be
Hacking
interesting.
back in.
Just on that and change of tactics. This little meeting that Chrissy Waller has with the stewards before the first on about how they're going to ride the horses.
Yeah.
That should be public domain, shouldn't it? That has
Yeah, it's
that
a
has to be
YouTube
published.
video, isn't it?
Is it? Do they put it up on YouTube?
No,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah,
surely that
film
would,
it.
that would get a lot of.
They have a note.
It's-
If
You could
Chris
sell
is going,
advertising on that.
if Chris is going to the stewards room telling the stewards how his horses are going to be ridden, every one of them, and then they determine what the change of tactics are and all that sort of business.
Is this
One,
doing
why
it?
does Chris do it, and why does nobody else do it? And then two,
Chris is
if it's being there, it should be made public straight away.
Chris has recognised the perceived pressure, problems with him having so many horses, and maybe the stewards sort
Yeah.
of collaborating to get it out in the open a little bit more. But
It's called working the media. That's what it's called.
and
That's exactly right.
If anyone wants to know more about the Wallace stable, they do have a YouTube program every Thursday or Friday or Wednesday that you watch him and Liam Pryor just go every runner in every state.
Yep.
Just watch it. They don't pull punches. Like,
No, fair enough. No,
Nothing
that's a fair
odd-
call.
thing-
But my point being is, if they're in an official steward's room with documents that then can be relied upon,
You're saying
for-
it should be
for-
published.
I think that should be made public.
No,
and it should,
I don't think there's any objection to actually filming that particular interview.
or if Chris has got to do it, why doesn't everybody else do
He's
it?
just,
You know, to me, it
well, he
just,
doesn't have to do it. He's
doesn't-
choosing to do it.
Yeah.
any other... Sorry, you go.
Are we bringing back teachers' pets sometimes?
that's
Oh,
my
he's-
point.
Chris is great.
But that's my point. Like, you know, like, okay.
How do you sleep at night? Some people, I just don't know how anyone sleeps like that, living like that.
But any other industry would see the, I guess, the eyeballs that would attract, and that would be going.
Oh,
into.
it's
But
Channel- it was Channel 9 cricket.
Where Racing New South Wales seem not to want to put the resources into it, and the ATC, you know, it's not in their sort of space. So
No.
it's just going, and the stewards, they've just got on Twitter, which is awesome, but that's about as far as they've gone.
Well, but I mean, as I mentioned, if it was the cricket and that opportunity was there, you reckon Channel 9 wouldn't have a camera in it?
So we're straight there. We're just living. We're the sixth
You know,
biggest
but-
industry in Australia.
I know,
We're $6 billion industry. It's just frustrating.
Matt, you mentioned the. Sidbet actually asked the question. Have Excess Fear and Press statement closed the gap on Vancouver after Saturday? Hashtag Ask Glenn.
Go ahead.
I think so. Doesn't everybody think Vancouver came back and did absolutely naught, and it's going from 11 to 14? It's the falsest favourite word.
We'll trial and we'll win. Simple as that.
Yeah, so
But it'll
Vancouver
have
win.
Tommy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Still
I-
easy. I forget about that.
I'd say it's Exosphere.
Tommy over 1400 metres. that
Exosphere
horse
might
is
be
bad.
one of our best. I mean, Sydney, our best sort of 3-year-olds on a wet track.
I don't know. I think it'd be better on the dry, Glenn.
That's the
wouldn't you?
theory.
I know that's the theory that's being
Nah,
thrown
but
up, but I
all
know his record.
every time he's been on a dry, the slipper apparently just didn't let down because of his shins and that.
And his heart.
He's,
Arrhythmia.
dry track or wet track Exosphere, Glenn?
Dry.
Dry.
I just think this race is completely up for grabs. I don't know what's going to win next week.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm saying wet.
I'm tipping Centre Pivot to win the race. It's not even in it. I just can't take it any longer.
And as Ralphie made the point, as you made the point earlier, Mark, note that the caller mentioned that Centre Pivot was carrying 59 kilos as the compulsory for all callers.
Right.
Thanks,
Oh,
Darren.
so
Thanks,
close.
Dave.
Does anyone like my long-range prognostications? It's a bit good.
Yeah, they
Yes,
love them. They
they
love
do.
your
Okay, here we
I
go.
did get an email about 3 weeks ago. If I send the Derby.
Derby?
winner.
Oh yeah.
Well, I told the jockey this horse will win the Derby, and his response was, "You have gone completely mad." I spoke to the stable representation. I said, "This horse will win the Derby." They said, "We're not even going to the Derby." It's had one start. No, I said 2 starts. It ran 4th in a Gosford 1100 metre maiden. Win the Derby.
Horse's name is?
O'Shea's horse. Last Thursday. Tuesday. Gosford. Mitigate. There's a long range prognostic.
Did you tell a Dazzler?
Slight problem there. It's 4 years old. Anyway,
Isn't it a 3-year-old? It's a 3-year-old.
Our apology next week is to mitigate.
Okay. Back mitigate to win the Derby, okay? I've searched all the markets. It should be about 3,001. Unfortunately, it's not listed, but there's still time. So this is a really early prognostication.
so compare me with you would have seen Complacent at Hawkesbury,
Same animal.
but Complacent was
Better neck.
who's got the better neck?
Mitigate.
I had another email that came in during the week.
Hang on, we're just brushing by my prognostication here. Now, let's stay with me. It's a 50,000 to 1 chance, and I'm tipping it now.
Yeah.
And James McDonald, who I said after I spoke about, said, "That'll win the Derby." He said, "You're going fucking mad." I said, "But that's all right. You're only a jockey. You have got no idea." I know horses. Gee, it's a good style. So I'll put it this way. So it probably won't go into the Derby, but it's a really good horse to follow, and
But
it's a Group 1 horse.
It's not like Derby winners often start out
Yeah,
in
that's
those
right.
sorts of places. It's
So-
because it's
You've got to start somewhere.
we've got some idea that they're high-class horses. They're just, they're right place, right
Oh,
time,
exactly right.
right preparation.
Go through the list of it.
All right. Mitigate. There's his name. Right, let's go anyway.
Dozer
So don't keep him for myself.
does a great. This is an attack at me and Aaron. which
Yes.
is fair enough. Great show. Love the Pearl with the different form from last week. But Matt and the other stud, Aaron, have to learn imperial fraction odds. It's embarrassing. 4 to 7, 4 to 6. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like being a pro poker player and only knowing Hold'em and draw poker, but no idea about
Imperials.
Omaha. Omaha? I don't know. You're right. 5 stars, 7 stars, etc. So I'm embarrassing for not knowing imperial odds.
Don't you know the imperial odds?
No.
No, I don't. And it's probably fair, but it also doesn't really matter. I don't
No, it's
think.
not important.
Unfortunately, it doesn't
It's
matter.
not
It's
important.
not important. But would
Fogies
you
like
like
us
to
that are
know them, or
carrying on.
you don't know?
A guy I used to work with, Rudy at Unibet. He gave me a little
Who's Rudy?
Rube.
Oh,
sorry.
Ruby, yeah,
Sorry,
of course,
Ruby. He gave me a little thing to learn. I never really got around to memorising it, but I don't know. I think it's more important putting your time into the form and that sort of stuff. And
And at the end of the
But
day,
when
it
it
probably
comes
makes
to-
sense.
Darren
doesn't
Potter
it?
made a good point. He goes, the only reason it was good is in his head, Imperial sort of separates them by length.
That's right.
By margin.
Exactly.
That's how he thought the
by the right
Imperial
percentages.
separates
Well,
decimals.
I'll give you another example of what you're talking about. You say I don't really know, because I've met some really smart kids, like friends of kids in the year 12,
Yeah.
and they don't know their multiplication tables. And they go, we don't need to know them. You've got the calculator, 6 times 12 is 72.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need, and there's actually, and you're there going, you don't know what 9 times 7 is? They go, oh, yeah, probably can work that out, that's 56, 63. They actually don't know them, but they're not taught them because you've got the calculator. And to the generation that went by that knows them, times pi.
Yeah.
Going back the other way, it just is weird.
And what would they do on long card trips when what everybody does is multiply the number plates?
When I'm not listening to Volandis,
Don't you know that everyone flies now, Dale?
Do they?
Well,
Our country's so ridiculously wealthy, particularly Sydney.
I'd say about the week I flew to Wagga. I went to Wagga the races. A friend of mine was out having a drink, and I said, can you just book me a flight to Wagga? She said, oh yes, I'll do this, and and it's $8.90 return or whatever it was. And blah. She said, oh, I got some friends. I'm going to be, hey, just remember, I got to get a book a flight for a month from now to New York and back. Just went to have dinner with some friends. It was $1,300 return. So it was $900 to get to Wagga.
1,300 return to New York.
$1,300 return to New York because you earn about $2,000 a week, and you want to catch up with some good friends to have some dinner there with them. So you go there for 3 days and you got somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
And you
Just
go.
stay off the coach for the week, and
You just go. Really, is the world like that now? You go to New York for dinner, and why wouldn't you if you earn a couple of thousand a week and $1,300 return? You get a cab, you stay at your mate's joint. She's mad playing Sheila. All the boys take you out for dinner, and then
What are you doing going to Wagga?
I'm going to Wagga to get. Yeah, it's just weird though, isn't it? Like,
to win back your 900.
See, the younger people just don't know how amazing their life is.
No, they don't. We take it for granted.
And like he doesn't know the imperial odds, but the first thing he said, well, I don't really need to. And I was about to punch you, and I thought that's a fair argument. You're right. You do know $4 is 3 to 1.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know that. But when it gets in the increments, you're saying like
Oh,
380,
just get
340.
265. I can't work it out.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
All right. Matt, you tweeted out Radio News mentioned the Australian Padding Committee are considering adding a Group 1 2-year-old fillies race at the Gold Coast. Can I get $1.01?
Yes, and apparently Shane Anderson replied, it's been in the mix for a while. It's one of the races that happened at the championships. Was there a group race with fillies or something?
Keith Mackay.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
race
gonna be,
that
they're gonna
Ottoman won.
Oh, really? Yeah, they're going to take that maybe and upgrade it over there. But,
Oh, okay.
What,
who
take
would've-
it to the Gold Coast. It's an ATC race.
Well, no.
Oh, it's like trading poker machines now, is it?
What's going on?
Oh,
So
God.
who would have?
They are
Ottoman,
big.
Ottoman would be a Group 1 winner, would she?
well,
Do
who
yourself a
cares?
favour, actually. If you want to have a look at the Australian Racing Board site, they've got a flow chart about who does what in the scheme of things and how, like this is our role and we've got this person, this person, this person. Just check where the looking after the wagering comes into play in that flow chart.
yeah.
Just have a look. If you can find it, email it in, please. It'll be interesting. Crowform said the calendar has been screaming out for that. Matt tweeted, not our Matt, other Matt. Is Glenn planning his public hanging at this park at Linfield? I don't think this will come up on the thing because it's a bit grainy. If you can see in the middle there, there's a park at Linfield.
Rope.
There's a rope and there's a noose on it. I don't know
That's not bad.
I don't know if that rope's strong enough, Glenn.
That's good for
Well,
all,
you might need to shorten the rope.
all the little kids in the area. Yeah, you've got to shorten that rope, tie it up there, bring a chair.
And do you think a thicker rope?
Yeah, because you get the little feel of some chance of making it.
Oh, okay. You want to? So it's an
the
equal
last
bet.
Yeah, it's the last bet, isn't it?
So you want to still.
Kick this chair over and
And what happens if you lose the bet and you don't go out?
Brain damage.
I
All right.
learn on the show all the time.
Dirty Cowboys, the best rider Pollard has ever seen. Blake Sheehan obviously smokes too much pot, old mate there.
There's old mate on a big
Reefer.
reefer.
Yeah.
It is the biggest.
And had
I've
said
ever
better than P. Murphy or Gando. Please don't say so. B. Shin, Glenn.
You have caused a bit of a stir,
It
haven't you?
is so. He is the best rider.
Oh, did you see him on Madam Gangster?
How good a rider.
Oh,
is he?
how good was that? That was just.
But it's not just that. He's some Madam Gangster. Rides for your family, and then he backs up. 12 hours later, he's at wild.
Yeah.
Pushing around perfectly.
Yep.
He's just a thorough professional too.
Lovely. Craig Knight, this is in response to your Lego theory, Glenn. Your Lego theory
The
is.
stewards there've been very, very few Lego comments that walk past me during the week.
Yeah, is that
Really?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do they just say,
Got
yeah,
building blocks out.
we did only get Duplo?
And to their credit, like they do have a bit of a laugh at us when we give it on.
Well, most of them do. Craig Knight sent that through.
The two main bikes.
Yeah.
Captain from Inverell and captain from Sydney. They don't like us, but all the other younger blokes do.
Yeah.
Well, they're normal blokes.
Craig Knight said, my daughter builds racetracks out of Lego. According to Glenn, she will turn out fine.
She'll turn out
It's a new
perfect.
hope, isn't it?
Yeah. Mr. Asia mentioned that T. Beasley first ride back a winner at Lismore. Huge effort after 18 months on the off after the Stephanie Rice.
Oh, Paisley was on the Stephanie Rice, was he?
Where are you going with the pipe?
Yeah, can't say that.
You really?
I've dropped off the pipe.
All right. And John Mullins said, Racing New South Wales are bringing racing into District Pit by serving up meetings with 60 and 70 runners in Sydney, but keep patting themselves on the back.
Pretty hard to take, and I do wholeheartedly agree with that.
133 noms for Saturday, so hopefully
Oh, we're a
it
chance.
turns around. Yep.
Perfect.
There's 80 runners.
Yeah. Oh no, we're a chance. We're a chance.
Plus 8 metres at Randwick. Great.
Plus 8 metres.
Yeah, it's the 8 Mary.
It's the end of part two. We're about to tap out here.
Oh, well, that'll be right down the outside then if it's big.